Yes, recording in progress. Hello, Joanna. Hello, how are you today?
Hi. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Yourself?
Fine. Mm. I'm here and I'm happy you wanted to have our conversation in the morning because in the morning I'm fresh. I just did my exercises before meeting you, and I'm just actually I have full energy in the morning, so it's great. It's better than the evening. So yeah, I
Mhm.
love this idea to have a conversation at a tea in front of our computer and talk about our workshop or the divine masculine, feminine, and our journey into the path of transformation, tantra, and all these beautiful things. And yeah, it's nice to see you and meet you.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah,
same here. I think in the morning for a male is a lot of giving energy, so I'm happy with that.
yeah,
He's in the giving more in the morning.
hmm, true, true. You know, I have some cards here, and I want to take one card for you and one card for me. What do you say?
Yeah, yeah, let's try.
Would you
Let's
like?
try.
Okay. So this is for you. Oh, it's like I flow freely and full of love together with life. I love myself. I know that at every corner, the good is waiting for me. I let go of any expectations.
Mm, I love it.
Woohoo! Very good. So it
Thank you.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, now another one for me. So I say, I am safe to receive inside of me. Ah, no, 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 sorry. I'm safe to look inside of me. Yeah, to look inside of me. I'm safe. Uh, so I come closer to the beliefs and the opinions of others. I see inside of me a great being, wise and beautiful. I love what I see inside of me. Okay, good.
Mm.
Thank
Does
you.
that resonate? Does that resonate with you? Do you like the
Yeah, yeah,
message?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I take time to look inside because yeah, because there I see who am I, and I'm safe to look inside. It's okay. Yeah, it's very interesting, a good message. Thank you. Thank you, universe,
Mm.
for this message right now. So, mm, I have two hearts here together. You see, very nice. So, what do you say about? Let me ask you one question, yeah, and maybe you can also ask me one question. I don't know. Let's see how we can do it. So, what is how do you relax as a woman? How do you take time for yourself? Like, how do you take time to nourish yourself into the feminine when you had a long day, or anyway, you were in the masculine, let's say, in the doing. What are some
Mm.
rituals of well-being for yourself as a woman?
Okay.
I'm curious.
I'm curious. Yeah, I think for me, I have to have those rituals every day so I don't lose my feminine side. So yeah, it's always taking time. Don't rush. Make sure that I am actually tapping in into each moment, into my breath, and also into my body. If I feel that I'm doing too much, so I relax more in my body each time. Um, in terms of rituals, I do regular rituals, some new moon rituals, and but also I'm really connected with the water, so I make sure I've got my time with swimming or just surrendered myself near water every so often, so I can actually be in my flow in the water. space. Yeah. I love to listen inside of myself as well. So that gives me access to my feminine side. I love to listen what I need in each moment. Yeah, I love to play with colors as well, like to have more colors every day. That brings me some good vibes and good cherishment. Yeah, all this I think is the main, but every time is different. So yeah, all this is quite rich in feminine side. You can see that every time. Yeah, in the conversations, or when you go outside, you can always see some more aspect where you can feel that femininity inside of yourself. So it's like in the nature or in the environment where you spot on things that are more feminine for you.
Thank you very much for this. It's very important to hear you as a woman. You do that because I see with many women actually that I work that they don't actually know what to do to connect to their feminine, and actually I don't think they don't know what to do, but they don't take time because they don't deserve. They think somehow they don't deserve that time, all for just time to relax, and they are many times not doing. So it's very important to hear from a woman who is actually doing this, like as you said, like every day you have this intention. Beautiful to hear you, and also your voice is very softening and very lovely. Thank you.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Yeah, I think even in the action side, even if I speak, this is the action, but I'm actually feeling.
Yeah.
So I speak, but I feel what I wanted to speak about. So this is like a combination between being and doing for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I know when I'm doing too much or when I don't balance myself with the receiving as well at the same time. So yeah.
True. It's very good. You have a way of recognizing when you are in the red zone, like more into doing, and you are okay. Stop. Now I flow. I come back to myself. It's too much. Okay, great. So, do you have a question for me?
Yes, I think I've got some. Maybe I would love to hear from you how your journey began in terms of.
I also wanted to ask you this, but it came another question. Yeah, good.
Maybe just a brief description of how this came to you. How did you start being interested in developing your masculinity and also working with people and having some vision, bringing something for others?
Yeah. So the way it started was in the high school, and then I had something moving inside of me. I didn't feel like it's my right place to be. So I was like 16, 17, 15, and I had a lot of questions inside of me, and I didn't feel good with the guys and girls from my age, and I didn't have too much friends that time. And I started to read. I started to read philosophy, psychology, read about why do we live, why is this life, or this question, what is my role in life and the meaning and everything. But I look at psychology and more on the philosophy point of view. And then after I finished the high school, I have 1 year that was like between high school and between my university, my law school. So I had for some time I was a lawyer, but before that 1 year I had to just I didn't do anything like how to say, like from masculine point of view. Like I didn't learn too much because I had a lot of time to learn and to prepare myself for the exams. But in this year, I started to go to some school, some esoteric school, that it was for me like, wow, what is here? So it was really a different approach to life when I heard about Kundalini, I heard about Tantra, about retention of the semen. I was like, what the fuck, amazing things. I'm very curious. Let's read more about. I was 19, like I was like, wow, what the fuck? It was nice. But give me a new perspectives about how should I take care of myself as a man and as a human being. And I heard and I for the first time about the Sephiroth, about the Kabbalah, about the meridian, about the alchemy, Occidental alchemy, yeah, Taoist alchemy, about the Mayans, about many things. Like it was a full esoteric school, and I had it for 2 years. Yeah, it opened the doors for me, like in many directions. Working with energy, working with Reiki, Theta healing. Then after, and I did other things like Osho meditation. I started to do. I started to roll up more things in my life, like NLP. I did a lot, and then I did coaching schools. Yeah, and then embodiment, somatics, breath work, and all this beautiful work with inner child and tantra, a different way of seeing life through the lens of tantra. So there are, yeah, many things to say on each area and each stop over in my life. But basically, this is the way I started. It was like a flame, and then I say, yeah, that's it. And from that moment, from 19, 20 years old, now I have 43, it was like, oh, now I have the feeling that I belong somehow. I don't feel like outsider. So I felt I had a sense of, who are these people? Why am I here? But then I started to find people that resonated with me, and I felt okay. I like this vibe. I like to be with these people. So I felt I belong for the first time. Actually, you know. So that was the beginning. Mhm. Yeah.
So it's ongoing journey now since
Yeah,
then.
yeah. And anyway, just one thing to say about this working with men. Yeah, true. I I um I realized that at a certain moment I had an let's say a feeling that I don't want to be the man I am. I don't want to be. Um, um, I don't want to be like my father, even. Yeah, and I rejected him, and I rejected the aggressivity, the criticism, and all these things who are actually part of a culture of a macho man culture in the past. So I said, I don't want to do this. I want to start something new. I want to find something new inside of me. Until I met a man who was a teacher for that moment, a masculinity mentor. And he was actually, before being my mentor, I realized and I felt him like, this is a man who has both, who has a feminine side, very soft, very loving, very present, and he is also very cutting through and very bold and very. He can also be aggressive if he wants and needs to. Yeah, but somehow he owns this aggressivity part. So it was like, wow, something interesting here. I like this man and I want to be like him. Something like that opened inside me at that moment. It was back in 2008. And yeah, life moved from that moment. I started to do circles of men, starting easy, working. with them, and while I discover more and more about myself. So it was like a journey. It was not like I have to be perfect before I start. He also told me, like, you just started. Then you will find a way. You will find your way. You just have trust and just do it. Yeah. So that's somehow the beginning of masculinity and working with other men and with myself. Yeah. Thank you
Incredible.
for asking me. Hmm, nice.
Yeah, so lovely to hear that you were so brave to find what is important for you as a male,
Yeah.
and also how you want to live your life accordingly what you've experienced before.
Yeah.
And yeah, meeting people, right people on our way is very important, because they can show you how
Yeah.
how what is possible, who you
That's
want to
true.
be and who you
Yeah.
can be.
True.
Yeah.
I'm also curious to ask you the same question actually right now. So how did you actually start this inner journey? How what happened in your life? Did you have some incidents, some problems in your life that just made you be at a central point in your life and you wanted to change something, or it just happened by chance, or and what actually happened? Yeah.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to say exactly one event, but because I think there was a numbers of things which happened that lead me from the space I was that time to the moment that I am actually growing to. So yeah, I think the beginning was finding a little bit more meaningfulness in my life. I didn't like the superficial way of living. So I started tapping into spirituality in terms of books at the beginning. And yeah, also it was a big one and it's still there. I think I spent many evenings with his books.
By the way, do you have a book in your mind right now that you are actually very inspired by?
Yeah, there were books like one by one led me to another, but I think the main one which took my breath away, it was Sex into Superconsciousness
From Osho.
from Osho. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that book was opens like a
Open
heaven
the
feeling
doors.
in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
I completely resonate with that.
yeah, so that was the part of me who wanted to know, and he actually, as a figure, he as a master, he was able to put that in books and spread out the message. And then I had some of the relationship difficulties, um,
Like everybody.
like everybody, and that time was I think I couldn't understand why things are going this way. And yeah, I started asking more like inside of my heart, and I had actually heart chakra awakening, and that was a really powerful experience. So that was the beginning of kind of kundalini approaches into my body. So yeah, I've changed everything. I've changed my diet. I've changed my routine into meditations to find calmness in myself and to know that there is more than I was thinking at that time. And there's no one to blame. It's just me to find my way. And yeah, that was part of this. And after I start wanting a bit more sensuality in my life. And yeah, so I decided to do like a short, like a traditional course of massage. But on the way, I had a little exchange with a friend, and he introduced me to a tantric massage. And that was the beginning. I started wanting to actually feel more depths in myself and connect with another being in a way that is very powerful for both of us. So I did the course of Path of Transformation. So I finished this course around a year ago. And this is how everything transformed. in me. Yeah, I start feeling more on energy space, what I'm doing and who I'm interacting with, and what is important inside of my heart in each moment. What's my values, what are my desires, and how can I bring more awareness, how can I make my decisions, how I wanted to actually live my life. And yeah, so it's kind of way of living after all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just a last numbers of years. When you said you were 19 and 20, maybe that time I was actually quite mature as well as a female, as a lady, as a girl that time. I was my partner was much older that time, and that gives me a good start to actually be more in a safe space with the male. So he was a good example for me to begin with. So I'm really pleased for this experience. But after that, I just felt really outsider as well from my friends. I wanted more depth, and I wanted to find more connection with on a different level, in a different way. And so I had to slowly go my way. So yeah, I feel like there are more options in terms of ourselves, like when we start making a decision that what is really what we want to do and how we want to live as a female and male, what relationship we wanted to have, and also how we wanted to embrace ourselves. I think that's the beginning of something huge. And yeah, we have to welcome that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, nice to hear you and to hear your story. And I'm curious to know more about this. And yeah, but it's nice to start with a few things about yourself. And yeah, yeah, it made me very like very relaxed and very receptive right now to hear you. And yeah, it's beautiful to be in this state. Yeah. So so in a few weeks we'll have a workshops in Manchester and about the wild masculine and the wild feminine. It's very important to connect with this, from my perspective, to connect with this wild principle inside of us, because besides being a good boy and a good girl and being adjustable, being I don't know, like others want us to be, behaving, being part of, we are deep inside some beings who are authentic. But to wake up this authentic being inside, we need to actually allow the animal inside, the strong part, the fire. It's fire in us that wants to wake up, and it's like a protector, a real protector, that wants us to live life fully. Yeah. So I'm really inspired by this journey about awakening the wild masculine and wild feminine. This is a really important stepping stone in our development as a man. And I'm curious, I don't know if you want to talk a bit about this, and maybe if you want to ask me something. I think now it's your turn to ask me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you brought a really good idea of this workshop, and I know you're already doing that in different places as well in Europe. So it would be lovely to have you here and introduce some nice work to people. But yes, I think the wildest side of ourselves is very important and cannot be rejected. It's like a gift keep on giving. It's a fire, as you said, inside. Is a passion inside, which you don't know how it's going to come and when. But we have to move the body. We have to connect with others. We have to have this type of exchange to know what is possible and why this time I want this, or why this really happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there is a power in that. Is a huge power and potential. Yeah, to be on that side, give yourself a space or permission to actually experience more of that, and then you can see some possibilities. You can see some openings, or
Yeah, true.
maybe just you start feeling what you really desire inside as well, and what
Mhm.
brings you joy. Why you smiling now? And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because
and
actually,
you kind of keep on moving in a different direction, and maybe that leads you in another direction. So I think it's just, as I said, is a ongoing gift.
yeah, because you know what I see, that when you are having this perspective of life of wanting to somehow survive in a way, you always wanting to make people, these people, yeah, or you're always there ready for their needs maybe, and ready to just I don't know, be part, be accepted, be validated, and all these needs and interfere in your development. If you want to be validated, you want to be seen, if you want to be part of, you will do a lot of things for others to see you, to feel you, to want you in their life. And for that, you will start sabotaging yourself. You will start, um, you will start, actually, you will continue, not start, to really be negative about your own being. You will not know what to feel. You will not know what you want. If you will not know when to say no, when to stop a conversation, when to take time for yourself, how to follow your hobbies, your directions, your choice, and you will do this more for others. And this is actually the born of the wild man. The wild man takes care of himself and say, no, I don't want to do this for others. Fuck off with needing the approval of other people and the others who wants to see me or not see me. This is who I am. Yeah, I stand here for myself in this life, and I will be accepted by some and rejected by others. It doesn't matter. This is me. Yeah, yeah. So that's the statement of the wild man and the wild woman, authenticity. I prefer and I choose authenticity over making the other feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah, for my own acceptance and validation. And that's a journey. Sure, we'll have a workshop of one day, but this is just planting some seeds about this transformational work we will do with breath work, with inner child inquiry, with shadow work, and we will tap into it, and we'll have a beautiful journey, and will be fun also.
yeah, totally.
So yeah, I'm happy about this. Yeah, I don't know if you want to ask me something, or maybe I want to ask you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's very important what you said, that you don't wait for the validation of others, or you don't want to be the good person who wants to be accepted and wanted by
Absolutely.
others and means something to others. So this is the key of everything, when we know that we are the priority, but in a healthy way. Because once you are prioritize your needs and prioritize what you really value, then you can be something for someone, or you can be an image of representative person and being. Yeah, so you start being more potential. You start being more in your full potentiality, and you've got more chance to actually see your yeses and no when it's taking too much from you, and when you actually start giving too much from this view, from wanting, from
when you
being
give too
wanted
much,
or needed. Yeah,
true. And when you give too much, you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I giving too much now? Am I giving too much because I feel it? I feel to give, or am I giving too much because actually I want to receive some approval or some validation or something like what the good boy and the good girl behave? Why do I do this? So, and then you start seeing the pattern and say, okay, I choose to be authentic. This is me. I don't do this anymore.
And
So
this is the moment of being honest with yourself and honest with another. Because we can, in a relationship, partnership, business partnership, sharing a space with someone, in any situation in life, then you will receive what you give. So if you want this space from being dishonest with yourself in that moment, you might have a probability to receive this back. So you actually running into the same pattern until you want to break that for sure. And that's the possibility of these exercises as well, what you want to propose, that you might actually break some patterns. You might see what is the problem.
Absolutely. Usually in these workshops we do like breath work, and when you accelerate the breath a little bit, you break through the veils of armory. We are armored inside because we felt we are not accepted and not loved, and we start to feel like somehow blocked. And through this breath, we open up the armor to feel again, to feel the vulnerability, the pain, and then you feel your authentic being. So it's like a journey back to yourself, to your essence, through the layers of the armor and the vulnerable inner child feelings. So it's also a path for the courageous ones, for the ones who really want to do the work. Yeah. Even if it's a one-day event, it's an intensive one-day event, and you will have a breakthrough that day.
Yeah. I would also add that's for people who are ready to face some demons inside of them, some kind of not issue, but let's say obstacles, and they are ready to find solution to change that.
I'm so enthusiastic. Let's do it. So so I'm really happy to have this conversation with you. Actually, I will continue for some ages, but probably I think it's time to go for you at least. I think it's okay for now. And if we want to have another conversation soon, we'll continue. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
I enjoy your conversation, the conversation with you, and with you.
Thank you so much. It was lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joanna, too.
And see you on the other side.
See you around. Yeah. Bye.